Okay, so I'm gonna get you guys started here. Now, the best thing to do when you need them. So at this point, we have the modules in there. We don't have all the modules, but we'll get to that later. And the next thing that we need to do is add in the mux. Now, muxes are done using switch statements. If you guys remember from your programming days, this is going to be using a switch statement. So we're going to have a switch opcode. I believe that's how the syntax for it. Oh dang it! I didn't actually use it in there. I used something that I shouldn't have used. So yeah, this is what happens when you don't use the schematic for the big guy. You have that piece of code right there. Here we go. I bet you this guy. Oh no, I did it all in that one too. Just a second. Junior year. No. I don't know why this zip file is so huge.
You archived all your juniors.
Spring Quarter project. I know this guy will have one. Yeah, so that's the syntax then. Case, blah. Or no, yeah. So it'll be like this. And then like here is where you would use your add-op, your parameters that you defined. And then for all your case statements, you need to have, I'm going to look at this real fast.
Holy cow.
End
That's what I
case.
said.
Yeah. Yeah. This is wonderful digital. This isn't something that you'll need to do at all.
Yet.
Yeah. But you will have, so you'll,
Switch to CS.
so you're going to have this case, open parenthesis, and then this is where you use your parameters to define each case. What this allows you to do is change it up here and have a name to that number. Otherwise, the number means nothing really. Just makes it easier to read. And then here, what I can do is just say that begin. First of all, you need to put in begin and end. Begin and end is kind of like their way of putting in curly braces. And then, like, and here I'll say R is equal to adder. And for now, we're just going to be simplistic and say overflow is equal to adder row. And then 0 is equal to adder equal to 0. Like that. And one thing about the case is you need to always have defaults.
You want a double equals, or is that a...
This is a double equals because it's going to do a Boolean check and return the value.
Okay.
And it'll do that automatically for you. Verilog can do a lot of things automatically for you, so use it. Stuff like this, you don't need to implement a comparator. It has a comparator in it.
That is so nice.
Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for the fact we needed overflow, you would be able to add as well. You can multiply it, but it will not work on the board, so don't try it.
Okay.
And then for default, what we're going to do is begin. We're just going to set add equal to 16 bit 0, overflow to 0, and 0 equal to 1. That way we know that it's something's wrong. And now,
Can you explain that notation? I thought I knew it, and then you did something.
what notation?
Like 16 apostrophe 0.
So the number before the apostrophe is the number of bits,
Okay.
and then after the apostrophe, it tells you what base it's in.
Okay.
So D is decimal. The reason I did that is because if it's binary, you have to pick 16 zeros.
Okay.
It's decimal, you only have to pick 1.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And that'll. 1 bit 0, 1 bit 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Let me make sure that this guy works. I have a sneaking suspicion he might not. Yep, he doesn't.
Dun dun dun.
Okay, so this doesn't work the way I thought it would. So yeah, actually I just realized why this doesn't work the way it should.
Why?
That can only be used in sequential circuits. A case statement can only be used in sequential circuits. Sorry about that. We'll learn about that next week. So instead we're going to have a sign R, a sign overflow. Essentially you're always going to need to have a sign output equals for every output. Just like that. Now, does anyone remember what a ternary operator is?
Is that like the Boolean statement, question mark, true, semicolon, false,
Yep.
question mark, and just go on and on and on.
And that's what you have to do here.
What do you call
Because it doesn't use case. This actually isn't that bad, especially if you line it up correctly, but
If you look at it just right, it actually makes some sense.
so essentially what this is saying is if this guy is true, let me see if I can.
Notepad.
Whatever. But if this guy is true, then it returns A. So R will be equal to A. If not, A or B, I'm sorry. It will return A or B. If not, which is what this colon means, it'll see if the op is equal to AND. If so, it'll return A and B.
Okay.
Otherwise, if it's equal to add. Essentially, question mark takes the place of then, and colon takes the place of else.
Okay.
And otherwise, everything is exactly the same. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to have opcode equals add op question mark adder. And I'm going to put this on another line so that it's opcode equals and op A and B.
How'd you type that so fast?
I type 70 to 80 words a minute.
I can do 60 if I can.
You can do it
That's
from zoning.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I used to be able to do 100. I broke 100 a couple times. If you give me the right thing. But does that make sense? That code.
What does that mean part mean?
What does the what mean?
Is that last thing 16 decimal 0?
Yep.
Is that like just, if not,
If it's nothing else, we're just going to return 0.
okay, that's like the bad.
Yep. And you always need an else statement. If you don't put in an else statement, you'll get what they call latches. If you guys remember those from 130.
You're on?
They're essentially.
What?
I honestly forget exactly what they are, but they're bad.
Okay.
That's all I remember from them.
Anyone want to check that?
16D0, by the way.
Is it D0 or decimal?
Decimal. Yep. The reason I do that is if I was telling him if you put 16
B.
apostrophe B, you have to add 16 zeros.
zeros. Who wants to do that?
I'm gonna go ahead and just. I'm gonna go ahead and just see if this guy runs real fast. He should. Okay. So it ran with warnings, but
That's acceptable.
Yep.
What does that mean, Ben?
What? This warning
Yeah.
just means that I assign to it, but I never use it, so it's not useful at all. It'll actually be optimized away, which is nice. And then what I can do actually is if I just copy this guy and paste it, then I can just change these values to be what it would be for the overflow. So for example,